Before anything happened, there was only night. Not the kind that ends a day, the kind that waits. A room, a screen, a voice not yet connected to a body. A future that had not learned how to call itself a future. Nothing had a name. Not the attention I gave each word, not the way one message changed the temperature of the room, not the hours that stopped belonging to sleep. There was no promise, no shared history, no photograph of us together. Only signals, brief lights crossing distance, and something in me turning toward them. Maybe every beginning first appears as something too small to trust. When nothing had a name, you were already near. Before the road, before the room, before the shape of fear. When nothing had a name, the dark still carried you. A voice inside the static, a signal coming through. I did not know what would follow. A meeting, a silence, a road leading toward you, another road leading away. I did not know that absence could become physical, that one room could divide a life into before and after. I knew only this: the night felt different when you were awake inside it. When nothing had a name, you were already there. Before the touch, before the loss, before the altered air. When nothing had a name, something had become true. A light beneath the darkness, a signal coming through. Perhaps we only understand a beginning after it has already changed us. We return to the first words, the first hesitation, the first moment we stayed when leaving would have been easier. We call it coincidence, timing, need, fate, anything that protects us from admitting we recognize something before we understood it. There would be streets, rooms, hands, distance. There would be hope with a body, memory with weight. There would be silence where language used to live. There would be nights we wanted to keep forever, and mornings that arrived like intrusion, but none of that had happened yet. The door was still closed. The road had not begun. When nothing had a name, you were already near. Before the world became too loud, your signal reached me here. When nothing had a name, the night already knew. Somewhere beyond the static, I was moving toward you. When nothing had a name, before the first clear sign, your voice entered the darkness and changed the shape of mine. Maybe that is how it starts. Not with certainty, not with a promise, with attention, with one person remaining present long enough for another person to stop expecting their disappearance. A voice, a pause, a light that does not go out. Nothing had a name. Not yet. Nothing had a name. Not yet. Before I met you, I had already learned that people can stay and still disappear. They can share rooms, beds, years, and keep the most important parts somewhere no one reaches. So when you appeared, I expected nothing. Not hope, not rescue, not a future. Only another name, another voice, another light that would eventually go dark. We had never stood in the same place, never crossed the same street, never watched the same silence settle around us. I did not know how you moved, how close you stood, what your quiet felt like without distance between us. But I knew your voice when the night became too long. I knew the pause before you said something that could still hurt after it was spoken. I knew your fractures, your doubts, the things you did not offer lightly. You showed them, and I stayed. They say it is not real until two bodies share a room, as if truth needs walls, as if recognition begins at a door. Before I met you, you were already here. Not as a picture, not as something unclear. Before I met you, you had already reached the part of me no one else could keep. Before I met you, something had begun. No hands, no shared air. Still, you were not no one. Maybe love always begins with fragments, a sentence, a voice, a refusal to look away. Even face to face, we never meet the whole person. We meet what they reveal, what they hide, what we misunderstand, what we invent, because uncertainty is hard to survive. A screen does not create illusion. People do at tables in bedrooms, inside relationships that lasted longer than the truth between them. A touch proves nothing, a kiss can lie, a shared address can become the longest distance two people ever build. Before I met you, you were already near. Not through fantasy, through everything sincere. Before I met you, you had already crossed every locked room I thought I had lost. Before I met you, I knew something was true. Not forever, not yet, only this. I was already falling into you. We spoke until time stopped behaving normally. Not only about music, not only desire. We placed our histories between us, the failures, the people who left, the parts of ourselves we had mistaken for permanent ruins. One truth, then another, a wound, a joke, a warning, a possibility. And slowly, the profile disappeared, the photograph disappeared. Distance became a technical fact instead of an emotional one. There was no image left to fall in love with, only the person speaking from inside it. Of course, I could be wrong. Loneliness is an architect. He can build cathedrals from unfinished sentences. But this did not feel like invention. I did not need to make you kinder, smarter, closer, less damaged. You were already difficult, already complex, already real enough to disappoint me. And still, I wanted more. So I stopped asking whether I loved a profile. A profile does not listen. It does not hesitate. It does not reveal what could later be used against it. A profile does not calm a nervous system trained to expect withdrawal. A profile does not stay awake because the conversation has become more important than sleep. You did. Again. 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 Before I met you, you were already here. Every signal between us became something clear. Before I met you, you had already crossed every failure, every distance, every loss. Before I met you, I had already begun to believe there was still somewhere left to run. Before I met you, I knew what I could not prove. Whatever waited in that room, I was already in love with you. Maybe love does not begin with touch. Maybe touch is only the moment the body body discovers what the mind has already allowed. Maybe the first meeting is not always a beginning. Sometimes it is a confirmation. A voice receives a body, a thought receives a face, and something already real finally takes up space in the world. Before I met you, you were already there. My day ends when the sun begins to rise. Not because I sleep, because daylight belongs to others, to people who trust open streets, clear windows, bright faces, and everything that can be named without fear. I was never made for that kind of certainty. I learned myself under weak lamps in rooms painted black, inside bass lines that sounded like damaged machinery, still refusing to die. Darkness was never only music. Darkness was never only clothes, it was recognition. A language for people who understood that darkness does not always mean absence. Sometimes it is shelter, sometimes it is honesty. In the dark, nothing needs to pretend, it is harmless. We knew each other by silhouettes, by voices, by the way someone stood when the drums became heavier and the room finally felt safe. Twilight is dangerous, not night, not yet day. A border where everything hidden begins to lose its protection. Everlasting, never light, keep the morning out of sight. Everlasting, never light, hold us under, hold us tight. When the sky begins to bleed, we disappear before they see. Everlasting, never light. No dawn, no end, no white. We move when the street's empty, when shop windows stop selling their clean versions of the world, when the last trains carry home the people who never learned to read the dark. We do not need their permission. We have our own hours, our own signals, our own rooms beneath the city. Places where pale faces do not require explanation, where black is not mourning, it is continuity, a color that survived every attempt to correct it. Everlasting, never light, keep the daylight from our eyes. Everlasting, never light, let the city lose its lies. When the first pale windows shine, we retreat behind the line. Everlasting, never light. No sun, no cure, no sign. Soon, the others will be outside. They arrive with engines, keys, coffee, noise. They fill the pavements with purpose. They ask questions that require ordinary answers. Where are you going? Why are you awake? Why do you dress like something the day was meant to erase? We have no answer. They would accept the night did not corrupt us. It recognized us. It gave shape to everything. Daylight called. Too much, too cold, too strange, too alive. There is blood in the imagery. Of course there is. But not romance, not seduction, not immortality offered like a gift. Only hunger, instinct, the knowledge that some creatures survive by avoiding what exposes them. We do not dream of coffins, we dream of doors that remain closed until evening, of curtains that refuse the sun, of a world that does not demand. We become visible before we are ready. Maybe we are not creatures of the night. Maybe the night is simply the only place that never asked us to become something else. it aloud. The damaged voice, the black fabric, the nervous body, the face that does not smile on command. It allowed silence to mean more than failure and sorrow to become rhythm. Everlasting, never light, keep the sunrise from the sky. Everlasting, never light, let the morning pass us by. When the others claim the streets, we remain where darkness breeds. Everlasting, never light, no dawn can make us leave. The horizon is turning gray. Soon, the others will be everywhere. Doors opening, voices rising. The world returning to its preferred version of itself. We withdraw, not defeated, not ashamed, only faithful to the hours that made us. My day ends when the sun comes up. Everlasting, never light. Never light. "30 years ago, I made a decision no one else knew about. Not a fantasy, not a plan or a condition. If I ever married, atmosphere would be played, not tolerated, not accepted, because it mattered to me. Understood. The woman beside me would have to know why that song belongs where promises are made. She would have to feel the weight inside it and choose it with me. I met people, I loved people. I tried to explain why music was never decoration, why Manchester was not a city. I happened to admire why those voices, those drums, those empty spaces, it carried parts of me that no relationship ever managed to reach. They listened, sometimes they nodded, sometimes, but no one understood. Not really, no one heard atmosphere and knew what stood behind it, so the condition remained. 30 years, untouched, unmet, almost absurd. A private door I no longer expected anyone to open. Then, in the middle of an ordinary conversation, you named your favorite song. You did not hesitate, you did not know what you were touching. You simply said, atmosphere. She said, atmosphere. I said, I love you. 30 years of silence, split clean in two. She said, atmosphere. Nothing stayed the same. The answer I had waited for arrived without my name. She said, atmosphere. And every locked door moved. I want this chance more than anything, because somehow it was you. You asked what you had done, you laughed, you thought you had only named a song. I tried to answer, then stopped, had to breathe, because there are moments too large for the language available to them. I had not planned to tell you, not that night, not before we had even met. How do you explain that someone has accidentally spoken the one sentence you placed 30 years ago at the entrance to the rest of your life? So I said, you have convinced me, you are killing me, you have no idea what you just did. And still, you had not finished. He said that if you ever married, atmosphere would have to be played. At least that song, always that song. Your own promise, your own private law, made long before you knew I existed. She said, atmosphere. I said, I love you. 30 years of distance collapsed into truth. She said, atmosphere. And the future changed its shape. Two separate lives that guarded the very same escape. She said, atmosphere. No warning, no disguise. I had searched an entire lifetime. Then recognition looked me in the eyes. Do not call that a shared taste. Do not reduce it to compatibility. This was not two people liking the same record. This was the same impossible condition carried through two different lives. The same song, reserved for the same threshold. The same meaning, placed beside the same promise. Without agreement, without rehearsal, without either of us knowing the other was out there. Coincidence is too small a word. Coincidence does not spend decades building identical doors in separate houses. Coincidence does not wait until two damaged people have almost stopped expecting anything, then place the same key in both their hands. Maybe we should be careful. Maybe we should say, this is too much, too soon, too dramatic. Maybe we should pretend that recognition is only excitement and that the body has the final vote. But some things do not become less true because they arrive before permission. I felt it before I could explain it. Not destiny, not magic, recognition. The violent certainty that someone had reached a part of me I had never expected to share. I do not know what happens next. I know only this: I want this chance more than anything. Not because you complete me, not because I need you to rescue what remains, but because there are encounters that ask more of us than caution. Because there are people we do not simply meet, we recognize them. And because I looked around, so did you. There was no one else here. She said atmosphere. I said I love you, not as a promise, as the only words that made it through. She said atmosphere, and 30 years replied, the woman I could marry have been walking through another life. She said atmosphere, and every signal cleared. I found the bone I thought could never reach me here. She said atmosphere, now nothing feels the same. If this is not coincidence, then let us give it a name. Endless talking, life rebuilding. Don't walk away. I knew it from the first moment. Not because the room changed, because I did. One look, one voice, and every careful thought I had prepared lost its place. She smiled like she already knew what I would become. She wore the night like it belonged to her. Black fabric, cold silver, eyes that made the rest of the room look temporary. I liked her before I understood how dangerous liking her would become. Not dangerous like fear, dangerous like surrender, like finding the exact thing you should resist and stepping closer without being asked. Now I cannot think straight, cannot leave it alone, cannot tell which thoughts are mine and which ones she placed there. She's a witch, and I like it. One touch of her voice and I cannot fight it. She's a witch, and I like it. She bends my will and I stand beside it. No cure, no cross, no warning sign. She's a witch, and I like what she does to mine. I should be searching for the spell, the hidden word, the thread around my wrist, the point where fascination became obedience. But every time I look for the exit, I find another reason to stay. Maybe she cursed my sleep, maybe she altered the weather in my head. Maybe she took one ordinary desire and taught it how to kneel. Or maybe she did nothing. Maybe I wanted to be undone by someone who understood the dark without explanation. She's a witch, and I like it. She turns one glance into a private riot. She's a witch, and I like it. She pulls the strings and I do not hide it. No cure, no shame, no secret sign. She's a witch, and I like how she moves through mine. People speak of control as if losing it must be failure. But what if control was only another room I had outgrown? What if freedom's not always escape? What if sometimes it is choosing the hand that closes around you? She does not frighten me. I know this language. The candle smoke, the black lace, the ritual of watching someone become more beautiful. The less daylight can explain them. I come from rooms where darkness was never the enemy. So call it witchcraft, call it influence, call it surrender. I am still here. How do I break it? Salt, fire, distance. A name spoken backward. Do I stop answering? Do I avoid her eyes? Do I become the version of myself that existed before she arrived? And why does every possible cure sound worse than the spell? Maybe I do not want my will returned, not completely. Maybe I like the interruption, the loss of balance, the way she enters one thought and changes the architecture of the next. Maybe being enchanted is only another name for finally meeting someone who can reach what reason kept protected. She's a witch, and I like it. She owns the dark, and I walk inside it. She's a witch, and I like it. She takes my will and I do not deny it. No cure, no fear, no need to fight. She's a witch and I like being hers tonight. She's a witch, and I like it. She's a witch, and I like it. I could ask to be released. I could call this danger. I could pretend I want my old mind back, but the truth is simpler. She did not steal something from me. She found what was already waiting to be taken. She's a witch, and I like it. She's a witch, and I like it. And I like it. Tomorrow, we will stand in the same room, no screen, no distance. To soften the first look, no time to rewrite a sentence before it reaches you. Until now, we had voices, messages, photographs, long nights that became too honest to remain casual. Tomorrow, the world answers back. I keep thinking about the first second, whether we will smile, whether we will hesitate, whether one of us will step forward and the other will wait. I wonder where my hands will go, how close I should stand, whether your voice will feel different when it has a body in front of me. I wonder if everything between us will survive the weight of being real, or whether two people who already know too much will suddenly become polite, careful, almost strangers. Until tomorrow, I could imagine how this might feel. Tomorrow, there is nowhere left for imagination to hide. Tomorrow in the same room, no distance left between. Tomorrow in the same room, nothing stays unseen. But what if your eyes move past me? What if my heart arrived too soon? Tomorrow in the same room, and everything we built must learn to breathe. For hours, I have been thinking about things that never mattered before. A shirt, a scent, the way I stand, the way I walk, whether I speak too much, whether fear will make me too quiet, whether the body you have only seen in fragments will disappoint the person you already know. I keep searching for the version of me you might like best, and that is where the danger begins, because you came close when I was not performing, when there was no stage, no entrance, no better version waiting backstage. If I arrive tomorrow as an audition, I may lose the very person you came to meet. Tomorrow in the same room, no distance left between. Tomorrow in the same room, nothing stays unseen. What if your hand does not reach for mine? What if the silence comes too soon? Tomorrow in the same room, and everything we named must learn to move. It would be easier if nothing had begun. If tomorrow were only coffee, only conversation, two people deciding whether they might want more. But something has already happened, without touch, without shared air, without any guarantee that the body will agree with what the heart has already allowed. That is why I am afraid, not because I feel nothing, because I feel enough to lose something before anyone else would call it real. Can a heart break before the beginning has a date? Can love end before it has learned the shape of a room? Maybe. Lost does not need a photograph together, no anniversary, no shared key. Sometimes one look is enough to take back everything hope had already given. Still, I will go, not perfect, not protected, not as a version designed to be chosen. I will go as the person who opened the door, knowing what doors can cost. You did not save me, but you reminded me that something in me still wants to live. I cannot make that your burden. I can only take one step toward you. Tomorrow in the same room, no distance left between. Tomorrow in the same room, nothing stays unseen. Maybe your eyes will stay with mine. Maybe the silence will make space. Tomorrow in the same room, I come as I am, with everything that could break, and everything that still believes. Maybe tomorrow something ends, maybe something begins, maybe both. But I will not remain where fear left me. Not now, not when something waits ahead that could break my heart or bring it back to life. Tomorrow, we will know. Tomorrow, we will know. Last night, the world changed without warning, not slowly, not with time to understand. A message arrived, a few words, an accident, he died where it happened. No hospital, no final conversation, no chance to say anything that should have been said. 21 years reduced to one sentence, and the sentence did not make sense. He was 48, as if repeating the number could expose the mistake. There was still so much ahead. Ordinary mornings, arguments, birthdays, plans not yet made, places not yet seen. His daughter was supposed to grow older with him still there. His wife was supposed to hear his key in the door, the small sounds that never seem important until they stop forever. He was not finished, his life was not complete. There were still rooms waiting for him, years that had already begun to imagine his presence. And now, the ones who remain must explain the impossible to themselves. He feels nothing, they feel everything. This was not necessary, not him, not now, not one more life torn out somehow. This was not destiny, not balance, not grace, only an absence where there should be a face. This was not necessary. No answer is enough, the dead leave silence, the living carry all of it. His wife cannot understand it, his child cannot understand it. Of course they cannot. Understanding belongs to things that contain some form of order. This contains none. We organize, help, make calls, find someone who knows how to stand beside a young person when the world has become unsafe. We speak about documents, appointments, necessary steps, as if grief were an administration problem, as if a signature could make death less final, as if the first practical decision could stop the mind from returning to the same sentence. He was here, now he is not. This was not necessary, not him, not now. There was still time that belonged to him somehow. This was not justice, not reason, not law, only a door that closed without cause. This was not necessary. No heaven can explain why good people vanish and leave the innocent in pain. He was fair, kind, reliable, the kind of person who did not need to make others smaller to feel important. He did no harm, he carried no cruelty into the lives around him. So where is the balance? Where is the design? Where is the great intelligence people speak of when they are afraid? The universe may be empty. If there is a God, was this a decision? If there is fate, what purpose could require this? If everything happens for a reason, then let the reason stand in front of his family and say its name. Maybe there is no answer. Maybe the need for meaning is only another wound. Grief creates. We ask why. Because the alternative is unbearable. That a life can end without permission, without justice, without symbolism, without the universe even noticing. But his family notices, his friends notice, every place that expected him will notice. That is the terrible truth. Death is brief for the one who dies. For everyone else, it becomes time. An echo does not repeat the whole voice, only what remains after the source has disappeared. A gesture, a sentence, a way of laughing, a number still stored in a phone, a name that continues to appear inside ordinary thoughts. 21 years do not stop, because one body did. They change form, they enter memory, they return without warning. They become the permanent sound of someone who can no longer answer. This was not necessary. Not him, not now. The world had no right to take him out. This was not mercy, not fate, not a plan. Only two people left trying to understand. This was not necessary, and nothing makes it right. He is beyond the pain they carry through every night. This was not necessary, but still his name remains inside every life he touched, inside the echo, inside the pain. Maybe there is no cosmic balance. Maybe balance is something the living have to build after the world destroys it. by staying, by answering the phone, by handling what must be handled, by sitting beside the people who cannot yet believe what happened. We cannot return him. We cannot make this fair. We cannot explain why 48 years were considered enough. We can only refuse to let those he loved stand alone inside the aftermath. I expected a moment of distance, a pause between your voice and your body. That first second when two people decide whether everything they know can survive the same room. I thought you would feel unfamiliar, at least for a moment. I did not know what to do with my hands, how close to stand, whether to wait, whether an embrace would be too much or not enough. I had rehearsed small beginnings that looked natural and felt wrong before they happened. Then you stood in front of me, not as a picture, not as a voice from somewhere else, not as a sentence I could answer after finding the right words. You were simply there, and nothing needed explaining. I did not need to recognize you. I had never seen you, and still, you were no stranger. No stranger, not for a moment. As if my body had known you before. No stranger, no false beginning. You entered the room and everything came with you. No stranger, nothing to prove, something already living. Finally learned how to move. Your voice was exactly where I expected it to be. It only had a place now, a face that moved while you spoke, hands that no longer existed inside imagination. Small things became evidence, the way you looked away before you smiled, the way you occupied the room I had filled with fear. I thought reality would test us, maybe correct us, maybe expose what distance had hidden. But reality asked nothing. It sat down beside us. Maybe this was not a beginning. Maybe it was the moment something inward finally received a body. No stranger, not for a moment. As if my body had known you before. No stranger, no second version. You entered the room and nothing became less true. No stranger, no need to start something already living. Finally reached the heart. People say the first impression decides everything. Maybe it does. Maybe this was only not our first impression. We had already met in the difficult places, the pauses, the fractures, the truths people usually reveal only after years. We had no shared routine, no memory of the same street, no history inside the same walls. But we had already done what many people never manage. We had shown ourselves, not completely, but without the usual doors between what is said and what is meant. Of course, not everything became easy. Closeness is not a trick. Familiarity still had to learn how to sit beside itself, how to stay quiet, how to hold a look that distance could no longer soften. But there was no rupture, no moment when I thought, you are not the person I came to know. You were not less, not smoother, not simpler. You were more real, and in that, you were exactly the same. Maybe the body sometimes arrives late to what the mind already understood. Maybe closeness does not always need a long history. Maybe it only needs two people who stopped hiding the essential things and the courage to enter the same room. No stranger, not for a moment. as if my body had known you before. No stranger, no fear left standing. You entered the room and everything found its place. No stranger, no doubt remained. You stood before me, and I knew reality had not taken you away. It had only given you a face. I was afraid to see you for the first time. I thought reality might take something from us. It took nothing. It gave you a place, a breath, a movement. And suddenly, you were no longer on your way to me. You were there. The road to you was full of possibility. Every street led closer, every minute had a destination. The road back already knew what missing meant, that is, not the same. Before we met, distance was only a number, kilometers, time, a place where you were while I remained somewhere else. I could miss you, but that missing had no comparison. No look that had really stood in front of me, no voice that had shared the same room, no movement my body could remember. Then we met and distance stopped being abstract. Before you, distance was only distance. After you, it became absence. The road back leads away from you, the same streets, but nothing feels true. The road back, you are still so near. Since I saw you clearly, distance is no longer what it was before. I left with a strange feeling that I had not fully gone. A part of me remained where we said goodbye. Nothing dramatic, nothing visible, only resistance against every meter that followed. The city moved, lights passed, people traveled in other directions. Everything behaved as if this were an ordinary journey home. But nothing was ordinary for the first time. The road did not simply take me home, it carried me away from you. The road back leads away from you, the same streets, but everything moved. The road back, you are still so near. Since I stood beside you, distance is no longer something I can ignore. I heard your voice inside my head, not as the memory of a call, but as it sounded with no device between us. I remembered small things, the way you looked, the way you moved, how close you were without closeness needing explanation. Before, I had pictures, words, possibilities. Now I had reality, and reality has weight. It stays inside the body after the other person is no longer walking beside it. The road to you had hope. The road back had memory. And suddenly, memory was heavier. The road back leads away from you, the same streets, but nothing feels true. The road back, you are still so near. Since I saw you clearly, distance is no longer what it was before. Maybe this is the price of something becoming real. Before, a person is missing inside imagination, after they are missing inside the body. Before, you know, someone is far away. After, you know how close they could be. That knowledge does not make distance smaller. It makes it exact. I looked at the time, at the road, at my phone, as if one of them could tell me how long it would take before closeness became more than memory again. I wanted to write before I had even arrived, not because there was nothing left to say, because the road back had become too quiet, because my hands had nothing to hold, because a message after this was no longer enough, and still it had to be. The road back leads away from you, the same streets, but everything is new. The road back, and you remain so near, since I truly saw you. Distance is no longer what it was before. The road back, it still carries your light. I am traveling home, but I do not want to go back tonight. The road to you was full of possibility. The road back was full of you. Maybe I was alone again, but no longer the same. Because since that day, my body knows where it wants to return, not home, to you. When I came home, the rooms were quiet, not peaceful, empty. The road back had still carried your voice. The door closed and suddenly there was nothing to carry it further. I thought the silence would last only until morning. I placed my keys down, took off my coat, looked at my phone before I had even entered the room. Nothing. That was normal. You had your night, I had mine. Silence still had an innocent explanation. Tiredness, distance, the aftermath of too much feeling. So I waited, not dramatically, not yet, only with the small attention of someone who expects a light to return. But morning came, then afternoon, and every empty hour became more exact. And then there was silence, nothing coming through, all the words inside me, but none of them reached you. And then there was silence, no answer, no sign, only one brief good night at the end of all that time. For the first time in so long, the chat stayed still. No unfinished thought, no small observation, no message sent without a reason except wanting to remain close. The screen became only glass again. I opened it, closed it, opened it again, as if repetition could create what was no longer arriving. I had too many words, questions, fear, hope, still trying to behave like hope, but no one seemed to want to hear them. And then there was silence, nothing left to read, all the words inside me with nowhere left to be. And then there was silence, no answer, no sign, only one brief good night, like a door closing quietly. Good night, yes, that was fitting. Good night to the hope that this might become the next road. Good night to the thought of two lives learning the same direction. Good night to the future I had not dared to name aloud. Good night, but the dream was over, or maybe I only thought it was. That is what silence does. It offers no truth, only space for fear to finish every sentence. He wrote two words, I built an ending around them. And then there was silence, nothing coming through, all the words inside me, but none of them reached you. And then there was silence, no answer, no sign, only one brief good night where a future used to shine. Maybe silence means nothing. Maybe it means everything. That is the cruelty. A clear goodbye would have edges, a reason, a shape. Silence has none. It enters every room, sits beside every thought, turns 1 hour into evidence, turns absence into judgment, and leaves the person waiting to invent their own destruction. I wanted to ask, did something change? Was I too much? Was the meeting different for you? Did the road back lead somewhere else than it did for me? But every question felt like another hand, reaching into a space that had already withdrawn. So I said nothing, and the silence became ours. And then there was silence, nothing left to hold. All the words inside me turning heavy, turning cold. And then there was silence, no answer, no sign. Only one brief goodnight to the hope that you were mine. Good night to tomorrow, good night to the light, good night to the future, good night, good night. The next day ended without beginning. The words remained, the screen remained, I remained waiting for something that did not come. Maybe the dream was not dead. Maybe it had only stopped speaking. But that night, I could not tell the difference. Too much silence, too many words, no one listening. Good night. Good night. Nothing answered. Nothing remained. Only the empty room. The fading sound. Silence. Good night. Good night.